in a family of elite combat.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele. We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking out George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain it. Manages to reverse it. George the Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal. But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief. Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
And there he goes, climbing up the cage wall.
Some serious damage to the arm being inflicted here. Leaning on the turnbuckle here.
Clothesline in the corner. When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
You know what they say, gentlemen?
What do they say, Corey?
What goes up must come crashing down. What a You really have to throw caution to the wind to even consider hitting something like that. Effectively targeting the arm.
Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief.
And that holds Peter Maivia back.
Crucial turnaround there because George was falling behind. This could be a good chance for Steele to get some distance and rethink things.
George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage. Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage.
And Steele fending him off. Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steele. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steele makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way.
Vertical suplex. Peter Maivia, very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows, maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards.
Double leg takedown, got the shoulders down.
Gets reversed.
Is it enough?
He decides this isn't the moment.
Hope he doesn't miss his chance because of this choice.
Right on the arm. Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the animal out here. Soaring European uppercut.
The tried and true method to taking anyone down.
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Steele now just trying to survive. The animal may be wounded prey at this point.
The High Chief closing in on a successful hunt.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anoa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people and the tribal ink that covers his body.
He's put forth an onslaught of offense here.
A series of disabling maneuvers from Peter Maivia. That's one way to bring your opponent to their feet. Ooh, nasty.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui. Oh my gosh! Maivia just dominated the animal with that one.
What's Maivia got here?
Backbreaker.
No way Steele's coming back from that.
Makes the cover.
And a kick out. What on earth?
Unbelievable! Kick out at one?
Unbelievable. More like inhuman.
How draining was that?
Set up for a second time. What a backbreaker. Is it enough? Is it enough for Peter Maivia?
Choosing to climb up the wall of the cage here. He's trying to climb up the steel cage.
Taking it step by step, climbing onwards and upwards.
Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching.
And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur.
Maivia looking at it all here. He breaks the ref's count before two.
Not even letting the ref get to the 2 count.
Hammering down on a knee.
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Steele now just trying to survive.
He's just walking right out of the cage. No need.
Desperation setting in here.
He has to break free if he wants to escape.
Still trying to shake his opponent off, desperate to escape. And there you have it. What a maneuver to escape the cage.
And the High Chief defeats the Animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Maivia faced him in the cage